Hello, America, and welcome to the tip here at AgendaTruth.com, where the truth is our only agenda. We've got an interesting episode for you tonight, and guess what? I've got to tell you, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, next week's episode is going to be mind-boggling. You are definitely not going to want to miss next week's episode. We've put a lot of research and time into producing that one, but tonight we've got some great information for you. But before we get started, I'm going to break out the magic. Remember these things? Yeah, these things are great. I love these. I had one when I was a kid. My daughter plays on one. Let's see. Is the American economy going to get better after the November 4th election? Outlook not so good. Are Barack Obama and Mitt Romney the exact same people as far as policy is concerned? It is decidedly so. Let's see. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Let's see. What's Magic 8 Ball here say on it? Ask again later. Well, we'll just do that then, won't we? Let's see. Now, allow me to ask you a question. Okay? And just hang on to it for a minute. But according to the speakers at the Republican National Convention and the Democrat National Convention 4 years ago, we were at the edge of an abyss. Woo! Big hole, right? And in accordance with some, you are better off now than you were 4 years ago. Are you? This question and statement arises every election cycle, and the incumbent always says that you are, and the up-and-coming opponent of the other side says that you are not. There are a great number of speeches being cast about from the Democrats that for some reason you are better off now, and the Republicans are spewing rhetoric that you are in worse shape. So who is telling the truth? Some data from a new poll claim that approximately 20% of Americans feel they are better off now than they certainly were 4 years ago. Financially, speaking, that is. Do you know what? You want me to tell you something? The results of that poll question were exactly the same 4 years ago during the election cycle. Wow! Let's be honest. The American economy, and arguably the world economy, has been heading in a single true direction, which is down for quite some time. The government has implemented policies and actions to mask the disaster, such as, for example, extending unemployment benefits from 6 weeks to 8 weeks, from 8 weeks to 20 weeks, 20 weeks to 99 weeks, and 99 weeks to 126 weeks. Adding more recipients to the food stamps, etc. These policies have practically destroyed the middle class. Needless to say, exactly the same redundant tactic of the Democrats placing all of the blame on the Republicans, and the Republicans are blaming everything on the Democrats, is of course taking place. Because one party really is just a lot better than the other one, right? CNN recently proclaimed in a headline, "Decline of the middle class is not Obama's fault." So, this is what we have to look forward to until November. Yippee! Aren't you guys just so happy? No duh. There is clearly something very wrong with our economy, though. So, whose fault is it? I can see members of both parties now hating people like myself who share similar stories and news. All of them are saying, and also to give credit to Scooby-Doo, if it wasn't for those pesky alternative news groups, we would have got away with it too. Pathetically, the mainstream media fails their duty to the people to report on the very institution that has practically total control over our economy. Guess who that is? The Federal Reserve. Ding, ding, ding. Who gets a cookie? The mainstream media and politicians would have you believe that the Federal Reserve is really a supreme being of some kind and is strictly independent. And to question any one of their techniques is heresy. Well, perhaps that makes me a heretic. Wake up, America. Stop listening to the lies. It's all lies. That's all it is. One lie after another. You want to know who to blame? The Federal Reserve and their debt-based system of slavery. It is the primary cause of our economic woes. If you wish to understand this better, please watch our episode titled Federal Fraud, the U.S. Banking Ponzi Scheme. You'll see the Federal Reserve banking system like you never have before. The Federal Reserve has been doing more harm to our economy than either political party, or anyone else for that matter. Whatever happened to accountability? I mean, exactly why is it that the majority, if not all, of our economic problems is the fault of the Federal Reserve? However, they receive virtually none of the blame. But we continuously blame political parties, which essentially have a very minor amount of cause in the problems. Why does the Fed get a free pass? That's an excellent question. Why does the Fed get to get away with it? Why do financial markets move so much whenever that treasonous, blubbering idiot Ben Bernanke gives a speech? It's because the markets know who carries the actual power regarding our financial system. It is not the president. It is not the Democratic Party. It is not the Republican Party. It is the Federal Reserve. But never mind the man behind the curtain. You need to keep your attention on the great Grand Wizard of Oz and the magical spectacle before you of smoke and mirrors presented by the Democrats and Republicans. I believe that is their real job, if you know the truth. The Fed uses its money and influence to simply help promote whichever candidate they believe is going to do the most effective job of protecting the Fed and hiding the truth from the people. For this reason, candidates like Ron Paul never obtain much media coverage and are constantly demonized by the mainstream media. The smoke and mirrors of distraction is the presentation that America has a choice between two polar opposites with strong philosophical differences, and that they desire to steer America in different directions. They need you to stay asleep to ensure that whenever you open your eyes, you will not realize that you have been moving in the exact same direction the entire time. It kind of reminds me of a time when I was a kid growing up. My grandparents lived in a small town about 30 minutes away called Greenville. Whenever we would head to their house, I usually would sleep, take myself a nice 30-minute nap while my mom or dad drove. When I finally turned 16 and attained my driver's license and I needed to drive to my grandparents' house myself, guess what happened? I had to actually ask for directions because despite the fact that I'd been going there for 16 years, I had no clue how to get there because I had been asleep the entire time of my life heading to my grandparents' house. America, have you any idea what direction we are heading? Or are you currently asleep and will just wake up at some point and ask, how in the world did we get here? This is not the America that I remember whenever I lay down and went to sleep, right? Listen, President Obama will not be able, President Obama will be able to do nothing at all to rescue the economy and save America. Nothing. Guess what? Neither will Mitt Romney. We have to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment. If you would like to watch the tip or the feedback or Heart of America on your television, you can go to your local Radio Shack store or you can go to www.roku.com and you can pick up a little device called a Roku. It actually hooks up to your television much like a DVD player. And what it does is it will sync with your internet and it allows you to watch web-based television programs right there on your wonderful television, just like a regular TV show. There's all sorts of programs such as Netflix where you can choose to watch movies instantly. Some of your favorite shows that you have on your typical cable or satellite television is also available in Roku. But if you would like to catch our show, you can go to the Roku channel store, go down to the section labeled Special Interest, and you'll find the Agenda Truth channel there. And our channel is absolutely free, so you can click it, subscribe to it, and watch all of our programming from the comfort of your television. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of neat having our own Roku channel. So check it out. Go to www.roku.com.
Meet Roku, America's #1 box of streaming fun. Over 600 channels and counting. Go ahead, pick a movie. Binge on a TV series. Choose your sport. Fling some Angry Birds. Millions of folks watch Roku every day. You can too. Happy streaming from your friends at Roku.
Welcome back. Now, we were just talking about how President Obama and Mitt Romney are not going to be able to save our economy. Now, look, I'm not a saint either. There was a period in my own life that I undoubtedly believed that if we had the proper candidate in office, then things would be magically delicious. Okay, but after becoming a student of history, I began to realize that nothing has ever really changed at all, ever. I woke up and realized that throughout history, the same political rhetoric is cast about. However, the direction we have been going has never really changed, never. I came to realize that there's absolutely no Republicans or Democrats. There clearly is only Remopublicrats. Let me try that one more time. Remopublicrats. You get that? Remopublicrats. You will find minor differences, although not anything that will make an actual difference in the direction we've been going. It really is like the Democrats prefer utilizing the gas pedal themselves when traveling to get us to the final destination faster, right? While Republicans would rather make use of the cruise control. We'll just set the speed and boop. You utilize the old slow and steady approach. But guess what? The final destination is the same for both parties. Look, I honestly wish that was not the case, but we must open our eyes and accept the reality and truth first before we are able to repair the problem. We must first stop being fascinated with the smoke and mirrors. Stop watching the magic show. Comprehend, it is not magic at all, okay? Look at the man behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the levers. Both political parties support the Federal Reserve and stand beside it. Both parties supported the reinstatement of Ben Bernanke to the second term as the head of the Federal Reserve. Both political parties support the free trade policies of the global elite that is killing the jobs of America. You believe Bill Clinton was so great? He signed NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. And ever since then, business after business has been packing up and going overseas for cheap labor to boost their profits. Our founders wanted free trade, but within the United States, Americans looking after Americans. Americans should not be looking after everyone else in the whole wide world. Both political parties have absolutely no issue with accumulating huge trade deficits with other countries of the world. Both parties supported TARP. Both parties supported the economic stimulus packages. Both parties supported the auto industry bailouts. Both political parties have proven that they have absolutely no problem enslaving us, our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren of today and our children of the future with massive amounts of debt. They truly are slave traders. Both parties grow the size of government once they come into power. Both parties are full of psychopathic, narcissistic morons who add more government layers with regulations and laws upon our society, a weight that is becoming too heavy for any one of us to carry. Someone is going to snap. We might already be seeing that occurring if you see the news headlines of all the people just randomly going on shooting sprees. Both parties stand by the income tax and the IRS, the Department of Internal Rectum Search. Or at the very least, that's what you think just happened to you when you have to deal with them. Neither of the two parties has any intention of protecting Americans from the massive financial collapse that is going to occur across the entire globe from the derivatives implosion. Oh wait, is it raining? Hang on, do you feel that? Is it raining? Oh, yes it is. If you are a Democrat or a Republican, Wall Street will shower you with cash. No, it doesn't matter which party you belong to. Wall Street showers both Democrats and Republicans with that wonderful green stuff. Both parties think TSA is performing a fantastic job. Yes, TSA, which stands for Touch Special Areas. Kind of kinky. Both parties supported the renewal of the Patriot Act and in addition supported the signing of the NDAA. Both violate the Constitution of the United States. Both parties don't have any problem spying on you. Both parties are soft on illegal immigration. Now listen, any of you illegal immigrants out there, welcome to America. How to speak English. Allow me to assist you with your first English word. Illegal. It means you broke the law. And that means you are now going to learn your second English word. Criminal. That's what you are. Which now leads me to your third English word, jail, where you are going. Which then leads to your fourth English word, deport, what we need and are going to do to you. Now see, listen, you illegal immigrants, should you want to learn more than 4 English words, then you definitely need to come to our country in the form of the very first English word you ought to learn, legally. You understand? Both parties treat our military vets like scum or some kind of an encumbrance. Corruption is rampant in both parties, plus they have politicians that are thrilled to live the high life on your dime. You will find no plans by either party to balance the budget. Neither party will fix our overall healthcare system. I bet you still think Obamacare was about your health, right? The Federal Reserve will keep trucking along, supported by both parties. I tell you, this list could go on and on and on, but we only have so much disk space in our cameras there. You're smart people. I know you see the picture. Look, I understand your frustration with Barack Obama. I also understood the frustration people had 4 years ago with President Bush. In the same way, many Americans did not want yet another 4 years of the Bush era. Many do not want yet another 4 years of the Obama era either, me included. I place President Obama and his administration up there in the status of the worst president and administration in American history, alongside that of President Woodrow Wilson. However, the Republicans are running a candidate that is exactly like President Obama. Listen, people, and hear me right now when I'm telling you this. History is repeating. It's repeating, as we will reveal this to you on next week's episode that you simply do not want to miss. It is going to blow your mind. It's going to shock you, really. It shocks me. That's why it's taken me so long to prepare for, because as I'm going through and studying the research, it's like once I open up one door of information, that door of information opens up another vast amount of doors of information that it's mind-boggling. My jaw has probably hit the floor more times in the last 2 weeks than it has in a while. You do not want to miss next week's episode. I'm aware that what I am suggesting is going to make many of you upset, but would you rather be told the truth, or would you rather be fed a continuous lie? Would you like to just take, the red pill and get back to being asleep and remember none of this? Or would you rather take the blue pill and see exactly how far the rabbit hole goes? You want to know something hysterical? In the event that you just look at the economy for an instance, Mitt Romney's 5-point plan is practically identical compared to that of Barack Obama's. History is repeating. I keep wanting to hear some wise statements from Mitt Romney about our economy. However, when he talks, I recognize that he is clueless. I know you would like things to improve. You actually want to have hope. I don't blame you. It is just time for all of us to pull our heads out of our butts and begin taking a good look around at the situation and recognize that if we, you and me, not the Republicans or the Democrats, you and me, we the people, if we do not take action, then things will not get better. If we want to go in another direction, we possibly may need to jump out of the moving car. It's going to hurt, but I promise you, you do not want to reach the destination the two political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, are taking us. That is going to hurt far worse. Your political knight in shining armor just isn't coming to rescue you. If you're a Democrat or Republican, look, I'm not your enemy. We must tone down the hate and come to an understanding that we will not always agree on everything, but we are able to still love each other and work together. Debate will simply teach you something you did not know or strengthen your current beliefs. Both are positive outcomes. I just believe that it is crucial that we acknowledge that America is at a risk of an economic collapse, irrespective of who wins the election in November. Please, please, I'm begging you, make use of this time that you have before the election to prepare. We'll be back in just a moment after these short words from one of our sponsors.
Hello, my name is Ara. I'm here representing MBZ Auto. Been in the business for years. I used to work myself at the dealership since '95 till 2006, doing specialty only Mercedes. Pretty much we do A to Z, services, everything. Everybody wants to push the credit card. About 70% on credit cards. I've been with Central Payment almost 3.5 years. So far, they didn't disappoint me. Everything is good, like the service. I'm happy with them. Joanne. She always on top of everything. She backs up with all minor details. Really consider a helpful lady. Daily I'm receiving about minimum 3 to 4 calls asking to do business with them.
And what do you tell them?
I'm happy with central payment. I want to stay. I don't want any problems.
All right, we're back once again, and once again to the question at hand. Are you currently better off now than you were 4 years ago? That's a good question. Guess what? Absolutely not. And I hate to inform you that things are going to get a whole lot worse. I do want to say a special thanks to Michael Snyder from the economiccollapseblog.com for his research in these 40 statistics that are absolutely likely to shock you. Number 1, during the time Barack Obama has been in the White House, median household income has fallen by 7.3%. Number 2, back in 2007, 19.2% of all American families had a net worth of 0 or less than 0. By 2010, that figure has soared to 32.5%. Number 3, according to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth of American families dropped from $126,400 in 2007 to $77,300 in 2010. Number 4, according to the Pew Research Center, 61% of all Americans were middle income back in 1971. Today, only 51% of all Americans are middle income. Number 5, back in 1970, middle-income Americans brought home 62% of all income in the United States. In 2010, middle-income Americans only brought home 45% of all income. Number 6, the unemployment rate in the United States has been above 8% for 42 straight months. Number 7, the percentage of working-age Americans with a job has been below 59% for 35 months in a row. Number 8, in June, the number of Americans added to the food stamp rolls was nearly 3 times larger than the number of jobs added to the U.S. economy. Woo, that's going to get us going. Positive numbers, right? Number 9, approximately 53% of all U.S. college graduates under the age of 25 were either unemployed or underemployed last year. Number 10, since Barack Obama entered the White House, the number of long-term unemployed Americans has risen from 2.7 million to 5.2 million. Number 11, today the average duration of unemployment in the United States is about 3 times as long as it was back in the year 2000. Number 12, according to a report that has just been released by the National Employment Law Project, 58% of the jobs that have been created since the end of the recession have been low-paying jobs. Number 13, according to the Center for the Economic and Policy Research, only 24.6% of all the jobs in the United States are good jobs. Number 14, in 2010, the number of jobs created at new businesses in the United States was less than half of what it was back in the year 2000. Number 15, the average pay for self-employed Americans fell by $3,721 between 2006 and 2010. Number 16, according to U.S. Representative Betty Sutton, America has lost an average of 15 manufacturing facilities a day over the last 10 years. During 2010, it got even worse. That year, an average of 23 manufacturing facilities a day shut down in the United States. 23 a day. Number 17, at this point, 1 out of every 4 American workers has a job that pays $10 an hour or less. Number 18, while Barack Obama has been president, the velocity of money has plunged to a post-World War II low. Velocity of money means how quickly is the money getting out into the economy and being used. Number 19, according to one recent survey, 85% of middle-class Americans say that it is harder to maintain a middle-class standard of living today compared with 10 years ago. Number 20, electricity bills in the United States have risen faster than the overall rate of inflation for 5 years in a row. Number 21, there are now 20.2 million Americans that spend more than half of their incomes on housing. That represents a 46% increase from 2001. Number 22, over the past decade, health insurance premiums have risen 3 times faster than wages have in the United States. Number 23, health insurance costs have risen by 23% since Barack Obama became president. Number 24, Back in 1980, less than 10% of U.S. GDP was spent on healthcare. But now, about 18% of U.S. GDP goes toward healthcare. Number 25. In a previous thing I read, I noted that 62% of all middle-class Americans say that they have had to reduce household spending over the past year. Number 26. Family budgets in America are being stretched to the breaking point. Today, 77% of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck at least part of the time. Number 27, while Barack Obama has been president, U.S. home values have fallen by another 11%. Fallen. Home values have not gone up. They have fallen by another 11% since Barack Obama became president. Number 28, more than 3 times as many new homes were sold in the United States in 2005 as will be sold in 2012. Number 29, the United States was once ranked number 1 in the world in GDP per capita. Today, we have slipped to number 11. Number 30, since Barack Obama became president, the number of Americans living in poverty has risen by 6.4 million. Number 31, the number of Americans on food stamps has grown from about 17 million in the year 2000 to 31.9 million when Barack Obama entered the White House to 46.7 million today. Number 32, approximately 1/4 of all U.S. children are enrolled in the food stamp program at this point. Number 33, it is being projected that half of all American children will be on food stamps at least once before they turn 18 years of age. Number 34, it is estimated that child homelessness in the United States has risen by 33% since 2007. That's sad, America. What are you going to do about it? Number 35, back in 1965, only 1 out of every 50 Americans was on Medicaid. Today, approximately 1 out of every 6 Americans is on Medicaid. Number 36, it is being projected that Obamacare will add 16 million more Americans to the Medicaid rolls. Number 37, it is being projected that the number of Americans on Medicare will grow from 50.7 million in 2012 to 73.2 million in 2025. Number 38, the number of Americans receiving federal housing assistance increased by a whopping 42% between 2006 and 2010. Number 39, at this point, well over 100 million Americans are enrolled in at least one welfare program run by the federal government. Number 40, amazingly, more than half of all Americans are now at least partially financially dependent on the government. Now, let's ask that question again. Right? Are we, America, better off now than we were 4 years ago? My sources say no. Look, America, we talk about all this stuff, and the big question is, what are we going to do about it? Let me tell you what we can't do about it. We can't wait for the Republicans to save us. We can't wait for the Democrats to save us. We've got to stop waiting on the government to do something. You've got to forget about the government, okay? The government that we have right now can't even adhere and protect your constitutional rights. As a matter of fact, they're the very entity that steps all over your constitutional rights. We've got to quit doing this Republican Democrat thing. You want me to tell you how to destroy the Republican Party or how to destroy the Democratic Party? I can tell you right now how we can destroy the corrupt party system in America without spending a single penny. You want to see how to do it? And guess what? You can do it non-violently. You want to see how to get rid of it? Get rid of the Republican Party crap and the Democratic Party crap? Walk down to your local county clerk's office and change your registration to American. Period. Something that encompasses all of us. And you will watch the Republican Party and the Democratic Party implode, fall apart. And we can go back to a basic system to where we look at a person based solely upon their character. We judge a person by the content of their character and not by the content of their party affiliation. Because their party affiliation is American, something that encompasses every single one of us. That's all it takes. What are you going to do about it? We've got to pick ourselves up, America. We've got to stop sitting there and waiting on someone else to give us a job. We've got to stop waiting on the government to keep giving us handouts and paychecks and unemployment checks and food benefits. We've got to pick ourselves up and say, I'm American, I'm better than this. I am not some European that wants to get things given to me. I'm not American. I will not accept mediocre. I'm American. I am the best. I want the best. I want the best for myself. I want the best for my children. I want the best for my family. And I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to provide the best. You can do it. I know you can. That's the American way. Americans don't sit around all day on the couch. Americans don't sit there and say, what can you do for me? Americans step up and they do for themselves. Which one are you? Which one are you? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to take this information and go, yep, it's bad? Or are you going to be part of the solution? Make your choice. Red pill, blue pill. Which one is it? I can't make that decision, that decision for you. Me and my family saw a problem, and we have spent money upon money. Me and my business partners in this company, we built this to help educate others to be part of the solution. Are you going to be part of the solution? Please tell me that I'm not wasting my time. Please tell me that spreading this information and making sure that you are aware of the truth is making a difference. Look, America, you absolutely do not want to miss next week's episode. It's some information that that you have probably never seen before anywhere else, and it's going to blow your mind. I want you to prepare yourself for it. I want you to tell your family. I want you to tell your friends. I want you to tell your neighbors. Invite them over to watch the show on your Roku. Tell them to visit agendatruth.com. They can watch it there at any time. I've been working frantically in my research in preparation for next week's episode, and the information is just amazing. Is history repeating? You know? And can we do anything about it? You'll find out next week. Thank you for tuning in to The Tip, only here at agendatruth.com, where the truth is your only agenda. Good night, America.